Hey there, I'm Todd and welcome to my blog. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of about me from me, as opposed to just in words, in case you'd like to see the video and really connect with me as a person. I'm passionate about what this industry, the home business and network marketing industry, can do for people because it's been just an incredible thing for me. So I'll give you a little bit of why or how and all that stuff. If you had told me back when I was in college that this is what I would do for a living, it just would have never been something I could have possibly conceived. I am by nature an introvert. I was very, very low self-esteem for many, many years. Really kind of a quitter in a lot of my younger years just because I had such low self-belief that whenever something got hard for me, I'd quit, right? Which is, everything gets hard at some point. And so I would quit. Even when I was excelling at things, I would still quit. And I grew up really with a Depression era mother. She was awesome. She loved me. Set a great example for how you be as a human being, and kindness and honesty being really their foundations that I teach from. But she had a Depression era mindset. We didn't have any money, and she was small thinking in that regard. And so I never thought about making money. It never, I didn't have much, but I didn't worry about that, right? Because that wasn't my upbringing. And so anyway, I put myself through college as a waiter and a bartender, and had no idea what I wanted to do, and stayed in that, did that for a few years afterwards because tending bars are just a great way for a shy guy to meet girls. So I did that for a few years, and then I had to get a real job, and I got into the banking industry, and I actually started to do okay in that industry, but twice in a 4-year period, I got laid off because of problems in the industry. And the second time was devastating. It was a crushing time because I'd been working really hard. I was in the commercial and construction side of the industry, and I was doing pretty well. And I was growing a basis of developers and real estate people I was working with, and I was really staring up at a growth time in my career. And not that I loved doing that, but it was interesting work. But January 1989, I walk into my office, and I remember it like it was yesterday. My boss looks at me, and he's just kind of shaking his head. He goes, "Man, I got really bad news." He goes, "We lost our ability to make loans last night. The federal regulators shut down the bank's ability to make loans," which meant I didn't have a job. And so literally in 1 second, my life changed dramatically because at the time, I was now married, and we were pregnant, and I'm the primary income earner, and we already are just barely making ends meet, as a young couple trying to make their way in life. And now I get this, which was really just devastating news, just absolutely devastating news. And, it was really hard. I mean, I can still remember all the myriad of feelings, and, it brought up everything like, "Oh, this always happens to me," or "Nothing works out for me," or, "I'm never going to have any success," or "Nothing good's ever going to happen for me," and "What am I going to do?" I mean, all that stuff. And so it was, I scrambled and ended up finding a port in the storm and got a job. But I tell you, it was resonating with me that I never wanted to be in a situation again where someone could essentially press a button, right, or just say yes or no, and all of a sudden I didn't have an income. I didn't want that again. And so I started trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I was driven by finding something, not just to make money, but where I had freedom in that process. And, the only thing I could find were sales jobs, and I just am not a sales personality from my perspective, right? I'm a non-confrontational. You can add that on to the low self-esteem and the socially awkward, because I am a little socially awkward. You wouldn't notice it because I've worked on those skills, but that's a fact. And so I wasn't going to do a sales job. Matter of fact, I'd taken sales aptitude tests before for the stock market and some higher level sales jobs and insurance, and I failed them all. They're like, you're not a salesperson. You don't even belong here. And so here I am trying to figure out what to do, and lo and behold, I end up in a multi-level marketing meeting. By the way, I drink out of big glasses for water, and I highly suggest it. I end up at a multi-level marketing meeting, and it's not the first time I'd heard about it. When you're a bartender, people think you need a job, and so I'd been approached before but never paid attention. But this time I did pay attention, and I was captivated by the possibility. Of course, the presenter painted it really well, and I thought for sure that I was going to get rich fast, really fast. I was going to be at $10,000 a month, which would have been way more money than I'd ever even seen in my whole life. And I thought it was going to happen to me in 6 months. And so I got all excited, and I spent my $300 for my starter kit, and I spent my $3,000, for my inventory that I needed to get started, and I started. This was 2 weeks before my son was born. And man, it was that hard, because first of all, just making a contact was so far out of my comfort zone. It was so hard. Just remember the phone like weighing 100 pounds and the sweat pouring off of my forehead. And man, and then getting the rejection. I mean, my family told me how stupid I was, and I was selling skincare, and so my friends were calling me the Avon boy and the Mary Kay guy. And, it was just an unbelievably hard experience. But you know what? For the first time in my life, I didn't quit. Instead of saying, you're right, I said, I'll show you. And so I worked my tail off. And I worked my tail off. I had no idea what I was doing. I just tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. And over time, I started to learn it. And built a little bit of a business and got into personal development. It's one of the greatest things about the industry is it exposes people to personal development, which all industries should. And it just blows my mind why they don't. Actually, every now and then I'll teach major corporations leadership, and I just blast the personal development stuff, because if you don't do that, you got all this great raw material as a human being, and if you don't personally develop it, seriously, you're just not getting the opportunity to use your gifts. And so I poured myself into personal development and leadership development. I grew a lot as a person, made a ton of mistakes, made so many mistakes that ultimately I went bankrupt in the mid-90s. Before I really got my feet on my ground, and then on the ground, and then I found an opportunity that fit who I was, that fit my value system, which is important to find an opportunity for you that fits your value system, and ended up building a huge business that wrapped around the globe. And for the last long time, I have lived a life that just absolutely was so far beyond anything I ever imagined in my wildest dreams as a child. I've had unbelievable amounts of time. I spent more time with my two children. My children are grown now and gone, but I spent more time with my children than most parents would spend in 3 lifetimes with their children. I saw everything they did. I've traveled the country with my kids as they did different things. I've been all over the world a million times, and I have been able to invest in my marriage, and I'm blessed to be married to a great lady, and the girl of my dreams, basically, and really I've been able to explore life and grow, and in this process, I learned that my greatest passion in work is teaching. I love to teach and help and coach. It's what I just love to do. Helping someone to do better completely drives me. And so I did a lot of that over the last summer. I went on to get an MBA just to learn more about business. And I have this very unique blend of understanding the dynamics of business in general overall, understanding the dynamics of the people side of business. That is my expertise, the people side of business. And it's something that I can bring to you in a big way. Everything I teach is on a platform of kindness, honesty, and respect. Leadership is another area where I excel in teaching, and I'm brought into big companies to teach leadership, even though I'm out of the network marketing industry. Imagine that. And so this blog and all of my work is about helping you do better. I'm not sitting in a chair with you, but I can tell you, you got another gear you don't know about, and B, you have a lot of skills and abilities that you're not even aware of how well you can use them yet. And this industry is so powerful and so good. It's just such a good thing when it's done well and done right. Not just for your family, right? Not just for you, but for your community and the people you touch and the legacy for your family. That I am just empowered to help as many people as I can, and I intend to help millions. That's what I'm going to do, and I hope you'll help me help millions. I hope that you will spread the word of my work, and so that people can learn from me. And again, I'm not the only source. I'm one guy. I'm one voice, but I'm pretty good at this, and I know how to do it, and I know how to help people do it, and I understand everything you go through, because I've been there. I've been there all the way through, and I've seen A, what's possible if you just keep going, and B, what you can become and what you can learn. And it's just an incredible thing. And our industry is exploding, and it's going to continue to explode. So if you're new in it, you're in a great spot. As long as you got a company that's solid and is going to be here, you are in a great situation to build a legacy. Just don't give up, right? You're going to have spots in your business that are really hard. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Just remember, your comfort zone is a cage. That's what it is. I call it the dead zone. If you stay in your comfort zone in your life, you're not living. You're alive, sort of, but you're not living, right? Or maybe you're living and you're not alive, whatever you think, however you want to interpret that. Everything exciting is outside of your comfort zone because it demonstrates growth, right? Growth is exciting. Opportunity is exciting, right? To have experiences is exciting. It's not exciting to do the exact same thing all the time and get the exact same result all the time. And so you're going to stretch, and I'll help stretch it because I understand the power of it. I mean, I was this big when I started, and I don't know how big I am now, but I'm certainly bigger than that. And so it's been unbelievable, and I'm really jazzed that you're here. So that's just a little bit about the blog. You're going to get a lot of content that's going to help you with people, and there's all kinds of other resources that I create and you'll have access to or know about. So hey, help me help people, and it'll help you, right? You can bring your teams here. It's a safe environment. You can bring your teams here, and I'll help teach them, right? So hey, I'm really, really glad that you're here. And I look forward to serving you as we go forward.